Class is now in session.
Ring the bell. Instructor Novacaine. Let them know what they need to do for us.
Head on over to YouTube, like, share, subscribe, leave your comments, share and subscribe. Let me make that very clear. Subscribe. That's the big one right there.
Yeah, facts.
We're trying to grow as much as possible on that platform. Turn on your notification bell so you won't ever miss an episode of Society and Pop Culture 101. Also, head on over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Like us, follow us, share us on there as well, and leave 5-star ratings so we know which way we should grow, which way we should grow.
Absolutely. So I am methodical in the way that I talk about things sometimes. If you give me time to come up with something, case in point, like our social medias the other day when we posted that one clip from the last episode, and that one guy, and I wasn't being nasty to him or anything, but there was a comment made in our last episode. We was talking about cosplays and how we end up getting to a point where we're talking about white people being involved in certain conversations that pertain to the Black community and how we think they should not jump into our conversations, and how we gonna keep that energy the same across the board. We ain't gonna jump in specifically cultured conversations for them either.
Mm-hmm.
The clip didn't exactly say all that, and I don't have like the clip ready, or I'll play it.
Don't be the pot calling the kettle black, you know?
You know how we have in the Black discourse, I'll say
Mm-hmm.
Twitter, open conversation.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about when it's like a very serious race topic, and then somebody white come in and tell us, well, Black people shouldn't do this. How do you feel about that?
Mind their business. And y'all
It's
don't
just the way you said, mind your business.
The last type of person to talk about whatever a Black person is doing, the last type of people to talk about that is the whites, because I feel like they've talked about us so much for so long. White Americans have talked about us so much and so long that at this point it don't even matter anymore, bro. Unless they are coming with an open mind, not talking down on us, and they can truly understand where we're coming from.
Okay. So,
but other than that, mind your business.
I need you to. That's basically the whole clip. It didn't have every part of the context. It was only a minute there that we had time to do anything with. But one of the comments came in and said, "I'm Native American," and what happens? And they alluded to, I should say, almost a Black stereotype, if I'm not mistaken. You know what? I'm just gonna open up the doggone app and see if I can find it real fast.
I know
Not like
one
this
of
is
the
right there.
I know one of the comments was definitely alluding to like certain Black neighborhoods and how they're riddled with drugs. Every Black
Yeah.
neighborhood is not like that. That is a stereotype. Unfortunately, I understand where they were coming from because I did grow up in a neighborhood that was riddled with drugs. But I realized as I gotten older and I was exposed to more that that is not every single Black neighborhood. And even though some neighborhoods were riddled with drugs, doesn't mean that they had the drug effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where people were fighting all the time or killing each other all the time, prostitution,
Yeah.
robberies, things like that. Some of these drug neighborhoods were actually kind of booming. I hate to say it like that.
But I mean, even now, we have an opioid crisis, and a lot of the neighborhoods don't look like they run down because of drugs. Like
there it is.
those also TV kind of overblows those things. It's not to say they don't exist, but it's not the reality for everyone. So I got the comment right here.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
You fine.
So what if I'm Native and I still think that inner city culture is depraved and the lack of two-parent families is a serious problem? That was the whole comment. So one, we don't have an issue when it comes down to a lack of two parents. Now, it's not just a black issue. Like, and a lot of fathers are in the homes. Like our generation kind of switched that up a little bit. We're in the home. That's not to say that every house got both parents. No, we know that's not the case. But by and large, us fathers are doing what us fathers supposed to do. And
It
then
is.
as far as the inner city culture has been depraved, I don't know if you've been on the internet at any point in time, but it's more than just the inner city kids who have attitude problems and any types of issues now.
It
That
is.
that's across the board as well.
A lot of
So
inner cities are being gentrified now.
facts. So our response to that was not to really be a butthole about it, but it's just me saying, hey, look, change starts at home in your own yard. And it does. Like before you can go out here criticize someone else, you kind of have to make sure your house is in order.
There it is.
And then, I told them, the great gospel group, the Williams brothers, once said, sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. Now, I
There it
remember
is.
waking up every Sunday morning before we went to church,
That
and
song
the
was
Bobby
playing.
Jones gospel hour was on, and that video was on. Okay.
That was it. That was it. That was
And
it.
And then what's crazy is another guy got in the comment section and then got mad. For one, that person actually agreed with me. You know what I'm saying? We actually had an understanding at the end of that. But then someone else jumped in the comment section and was like, I don't like the way you responded to him. It sounded like you were being negative or being disrespectful to him. Um, you literally just did the thing we told you not to do. You jumped into a conversation that had
Without
nothing to do with you.
understanding. It's the whole without understanding part. And that's why I was like, we got to respond with, you have to check out the whole episode. And I think that's a lot of what's going on with a lot of these online conversations when they see these clips from these podcasters, because there's not a full story. The clip is
Right.
really what the clip is actually put together so we could bring you into the episode so you can understand where we're coming from. It's
Yeah.
just a highlight. Like if you're watching a basketball game, you're going to get the highlights. You're not watching an entire basketball game unless you sit down and watch it yourself
Yep. There are
to get the
plays you
full
didn't see.
understanding. There's plays that you did not even see. There's reason why they're called highlights. So I just want us as a society, as a community, um, to fully dive in and understand where people are coming from before you react to something. It's like I said, especially if it's a podcast highlight.
Right? Because that highlight, the way you guys respond, some of you responded to that was if our goal was to be like, oh, white people can't have a conversation about black people. No,
No, I never
no,
said that. I never said that.
no. That's
I
not the
never
case.
said that. Those words never came out of my mouth. I
We just
even was
said
like,
there's
I even
oh, go ahead.
asked for no non cancellation for myself because I knew that people would misinterpret what I'm saying. It's just that there's certain things that you have to do before you jump into these conversations. Are you is it fully impacting you? Because if it's not fully impacting you as an individual, why are you even having the conversation?
And I definitely asked, like, why would you even want to be in the conversation? Because if it has nothing to do with you, then it has nothing to do with you. You don't have to be involved in the conversation to read and learn about the conversation. You
There
don't.
it
You
is.
don't have to have an opinion.
There it
You can
is.
now if you have a legit question without the the negativity within those questions, absolutely fine. I'm gonna answer them anyway, but you don't know which bag you're gonna get because on YouTube it's mostly me. Anyway, we're gonna button up that conversation for now. We'll come back to it if we need to in the future.
And you
But
definitely, you definitely want to just deal with that because I'm a whole nother beast. I'ma just say that.
yeah, yeah,
I'ma just say
we
that.
don't want you coming in here. I was thinking
I
like
try to
I had to give
I try my best to stay out the comment section. because baby, them comments I don't know what has happened. Like at one point in time, I feel like I could read comment sections. I get a little bit of insight, I get a little bit of laughter, but now it's just like confusion, and it's just my husband told me it's because it's so many people online now. Like at one point in time, it was just us, so it's very relatable. But now that it's so many different types of people, so many different age groups, so many different ideologies.
Yeah. Speaking of internet and
Uh oh.
comment sections,
Uh
we gotta talk
oh.
about and minding your own business.
Uh
Uh,
oh.
we got to talk about
I know.
President Biden stepping aside and Kamala Harris taking the spot as the leading candidate for the Democratic Party.
How about the weekend that it happened? You hit me with the. I'm pretty sure Joe Biden's gonna step down, and I said, "What?" He was like, "It's gonna happen before tomorrow. By tomorrow." Tomorrow came, and then he was like, "It just happened." I'm like, "What just happened?"
Man, I've been watching and reading like all the context and stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, this is definitely happening. Ain't no way. Once I heard that Nancy Pelosi was on the case, I said, yeah, Senator Pelosi about to get him up out of there. Is she
that's it.
senator? Is she House of Representative?
Well, I thought she stepped down. She was the House Speaker.
She was. Yeah, you're right. I said senator, but yeah, she was the House Speaker. But I think she's still there for now, though. But she get
I thought she stepped
there.
down.
I know she's not the speaker. Did she retire completely?
I thought so because of all that drama that had happened, and then her husband getting attacked
Oh
and
yeah, you're right.
everything.
But that lady's still there running things
But
in the
she
background.
still, yeah, she still has
Yeah.
her foot in the door for sure.
Yeah. So once I heard her and then former President Obama was on the case, I was like, yeah, he about to step down.
It's a
And
wrap.
then everybody was like, it's not going to be Harris. She's not good enough. That woman out here breaking records and the support. She basically almost tying, if not in some polls, she's tying Trump. In some polls, she's better than Trump. And then in other polls, he's slightly eking out
Hmm.
ahead of her just a little bit. So it's like rejuvenated is an understatement for the Democratic Party at this point, which I am enjoying, by the way. You know, I love a good political romp, and this has been like fun. This past month has been wild.
First of all, this is uh Real Housewives of the United States going on right now. There's so much drama. There's so much drama in the LBC, in the
For real.
USA. Like, what is going on? I think I stated in the last episode how I will not be voting for either the Republican or the Democratic Party just because that is something that I do not agree with. Um, I really do feel like uh everybody wants this black vote. And as a black person, I'm like, we need to see how big our vote matters. We need
Um,
to see how huge it matters because every single election, what are they trying? Who are they trying to cater to? Who are the first the first people that they're trying to cater to?
at one point, I would be totally like, I would totally be in the camp of the black vote would be important, but I think this time it's about the women.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Um, just from the
And we
reaction
outnumber
of
the
the
men.
men, just from the reaction of how the men are reacting to Kamala,
Kamala and her becoming
Vice
the
President
president
Kamala being in, they're like, "Oh no, I can't vote for you." Then
because
we're
she's a lady.
because she's a woman, and now you got all these women. What they raised like 250 million or something. Or how
Yeah,
many
like in
million is
two
that?
days, it was something that happened
It
in
was a
two
huge
days.
number.
Within a day, I think they had like 130 million. But I
Yeah,
think right
so
now they're like at 200 something. I think you're
them
right.
women weren't playing.
No,
Them women ain't
no.
playing, and it's not just black women. We're what was it the Karens for Kamala was
I
the
didn't
thing I
see
think
that
it
one.
was or something like that,
I
or
didn't see that one. VP.
white women for Kamala is one of them.
Oh, I think I
Um,
saw that one. Yeah,
yeah.
right.
So just as, I didn't make that. That didn't come from me.
No,
But
because you started with Karen. That's why I said you.
just watching the evolution of how fast this took off,
Yeah.
and can we just talk about this other confusion real quick? She is not the Democratic nominee.
She's not
Okay.
yet,
Not
technically.
yet. Not yet. No one voted for Kamala to be in the position she's in other than her being the vice president.
That's
That is
it.
it. Stop letting people get in your head talking about, well, y'all didn't vote for her. No, we didn't vote for her
No, we
because
didn't.
we ain't had a chance to vote for
No,
her
we
yet. It
didn't.
ain't our time. Like
Then we did not yet. We did not yet.
right now, if you
Um,
want to get on the phone to those delegates and whoever they are, I don't know who the delegates are.
I think
You
people
want to
are
come down
just
to the DNC, then you have a fight. But
then we'll have a fight. I think everybody is just misinterpreting because, like you said, a lot of people are just automatically claiming her because she's the vice president. Two, she's getting all of these endorsements.
facts.
So,
They are lining up
so
behind her.
they're lining up, but I just don't. I just feel like we need to move away from the whole Republican and Democratic Party, the two party system. We have other parties. I said this in the last episode. We have more than two parties. We could make up a brand new party. I think it's too late for the brand new party to be made up, but at some point we can, you know? And me as a black woman in America, I just don't think neither one of these parties are going to make me a better citizen within 4 years. Simple as
No,
that.
no.
Simple as that. Do I think one party will probably push us a little further when it comes to finances economically? Yes. Do I think that one party will push us further societal wise? Yes. But as a whole, neither one of these parties have that.
So the only other viable, there's only two other candidates that I know that got buzz, and that's Robert Kennedy
Kennedy.
and Cornel West. Which
That's it.
ideally, if we're just talking about out of all four candidates, I probably align closer with Cornel West.
Kennedy. Oh, Cornel West. I could see that.
Just on the intellectual side of things.
On the intellectual side, I will agree. I will
Now we're
agree to that.
talking policy. There has been
If we
no
talking
real.
policy, I like Kennedy.
Kenny's okay. I don't hate him.
I don't
I don't
hate
hate his
him.
ideas. No,
I don't hate him.
there's
And
nothing that
then
stands out for me with him. We don't really know
we
Kamala's
don't
for
even
real.
know Kamala's policy. That's what I was about to just say. We don't even know Kamala's policies yet. We just know that she's been talking. She
Yeah,
has been saying things that, what she wants to continue with what Joe Biden has done and things like that. Whatever. Like,
there are some things he did
I
that was
think,
decent.
okay, they were decent. I like how you said that. I really like how you
It
said
never,
that.
it never goes far
But it
enough.
was but it's so hard to come back after freaking Trump. Like, how you bounce back from that easily?
You're
This is
right,
the same
and
man that said COVID was fake. Like, I think people forget that.
that's true. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that have a few things that they align with former President Trump. But the thing that will keep me from voting from him, and I can confidently say that,
Oh yeah,
is
I'm not
this
voting for that one.
immunity, automatic indefinite immunity for the cops. No, absolutely not. I can't rock with that.
I can't. I
With
can't.
that for anybody.
I can't.
Like
Sorry.
if like
Unaped-
no,
oh, I almost messed that word up. Unapologetically. Sorry. Because
no.
how again, I am a black woman in America. How can I agree to voting for this man? How? We just had this whole
I
case
can't.
with Sonya Massey going on. I mean, it's not even a full case yet. I just saw something that I scrolled past earlier. I didn't get to read it all the way. Apparently, the sheriff of the department don't even want to step down, or he's basically like saying that that was their case, you know, and that's it. Like, huh?
Yeah.
How many cops have already gotten off for these unlawful deaths? How many has
Without the
already
immunity.
done this? Remember how they had to pass that bill for the body cameras? We
And then
didn't
they still
always
act like,
have body cameras.
yeah. And now they're acting like the body cameras don't even matter.
Now they acting like it don't even matter. We kind of saw that coming, honestly.
Yeah,
So then
yeah.
on top of that, you want to give federal immunity. So that means even if say you lose in your county, your state, and you try to push it into the Supreme Court, what? You're not
Is
going
that's too
anywhere.
you can't give anybody that type of power.
You cannot. You cannot. That is the main. That's the number one thing that I will never, never, ever, 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 ever vote for Trump for. Because that's insanity to me.
If there was ever a chance,
Insanity.
if there was ever a chance for him to sway for my vote, that kills it.
That kills it.
It
Like
kills
I
it.
could go I could go I could get away with all the crazy stuff he says because honestly, I think that's just the type of person he is. Like as long as we've been seeing Trump on TV, he's always said some off the Richter things and he's always been uncanny and doing his own thing, you know?
Yeah,
But I think he's dead serious with this whole federal immunity thing, and I don't like it
not a
because it's not
fan.
like he said it once. A lot of the things he said, it's been like one time he'll say it, and then it's like, okay, we'll see.
Yeah,
But he's continuing and keep on bringing it up. This is something that he's. Oh my gosh, my
it's a
brain.
core part of his. It's a core part of his platform at this point. Let's
I'm
switch
not a
gears a little
fan.
bit.
I'm not
Let's
a
switch gears
fan.
a little bit.
I'm not a
Um,
fan.
what about let's try to as lightening things up as I can with this moment.
Uh oh.
Don't do that. Let's talk about this whole Republicans telling black people who black or not again.
Oh my gosh.
I promise we won't stay on
It's
this
not
long.
even just the Republicans, it's other black people.
And that's what I'm finna get at because, like,
I mean,
yo,
there are
I
black
y'all let
Republicans. There are
no,
black Republicans.
but I
A
ain't
lot of
heard
them.
none of them say it. You know, how are we having this conversation after the whole Obama thing? And how y'all just ride with talking points? Y'all getting your marching orders from the GOP. Like all these white pundits on these news sources are telling you she not black because there's an agenda behind her not being black. And y'all like, I'm not voting for her because she the police.
So you
People,
voting for a felon?
this is the most cops and robber election ever. And I know I just switched gears real quick on that. Let's go back. Y'all got to stop taking your marching orders from other people. Like
There it
really dig
is.
in. Even if you don't like her policies and stuff, Kamala, great. You don't have to like her policies and stuff, but let's talk about the dangers of letting somebody else dictate to you what your culture is and who can interact with your culture. Because I seen a lot of discourse of white people telling us that no, Megan the Fox should not have been there.
Megan
And
who?
then you get
Who?
Megan the Fox, Megan the Stallion cannot be there. I said
At the
Fox
rally.
at the rally at Kamala's rally. Y'all got mad about that. And y'all keep saying, oh, she's trying to be too black because y'all see a photo of her circulating with hot sauce. Um, Eating hot sauce is not a black thing.
It's not.
Hot wings is like one of the biggest imports in this country. Everybody eats hot wings.
Everybody eats hot sauce. Every culture
And
eats freaking hot sauce.
yeah, it's not a black thing. Stop it. If you only identify if your culture is chicken, you have a problem. You have a problem.
There it
You have a
is.
problem.
There it
If
is.
hot sauce is the only thing that you could see as part of your culture, you have a problem.
There it
Because
is.
again, just like we've stated on this show and our last iteration of the BK Space Show, we are not a monolith.
Bingo.
There are people that
They're
don't even
not.
like chicken in our culture. Believe that.
There are people that don't even like freaking chicken. None of it. Not it fried, grilled, barbecue, none of it. They don't eat it at all.
And if I see you out here saying that the blackest thing about us is the most stereotypical parts of us, then you have a problem.
That
Okay?
is.
Just being real here. I think you need to reevaluate what you know of blackness. And I can say that because I'm black.
That is.
Part of our
Okay.
conversation. I need
Bing,
y'all
bing,
to get
bing.
better with this.
There go that bell again.
For
There go
real.
that button.
We read
I
books.
need I need everyone to get better with this. Now I'm
Yeah.
wondering. Now I'm wondering if, because everybody forgets about how every black person basically rallied behind Barack Obama. I don't know if it's because, especially in my age group, in our age group, if it's because we were so much younger. For me, that was the very first time I got to vote for a president. Um, so I think everybody forgot the whole Diddy thing, the whole voter die. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That whole campaign. Obama was going in all of these different black spaces getting to connect with his people. And I don't know if it's because we didn't have social media. Well, we did have social media, but it wasn't nowhere near what it is today, of course.
No.
And I don't know if it's because my age group was so much younger. So they don't, I guess they don't just remember. But where was the outrage then? Then it dawned on me, like you said, she is a woman. Anytime a woman is trying to play with the big dogs and step with the big dogs and do something that a man is doing in society, it's always frowned upon. Always. It's only
Right.
been 100+ years since women can vote in America, since women can have a say so in their household. It's only been what, 80 years since women could be like CEOs and managers and things like that. So, of course, everybody's going to frown their nose up and say whatever they need to say about this lady. And we don't even really know anything about her. Then I had to start digging deep and seeing everything that may have been a lie to me. Because, and that's a part of growth, right? And
Mm-hmm.
being able to learn things. Sometimes we are presented with things that are not so true. But that is the reason why we have all of these smartphones and books and things. She wasn't just an unruly DA. She was doing her job. Everybody has a job to do. Some people are just good at their job. Some
Yeah.
people don't agree with that job. Maybe you shouldn't have been committing crimes. Sorry to say it like that. Oh
Facts, sis.
well. Um Also, we still don't know her policies.
We don't. We don't.
We still do not know this woman's policies. Like, everybody wants to argue about her blackness. Why does it matter?
It
Why
doesn't.
she can just be a mixed race person and we just move on? Why are we
Right.
having
Because you're
these
gonna vote for
huge,
everybody else because they not black. You voted for Biden, you voted for Trump, you voted for Bush, you voted for Clinton, you voted for the other Bush,
and you voted for the other Clinton?
you voted for
Bingo.
Nixon.
Bi- Bingo?
I'm just going, yeah, yeah, because let's just be real.
Reagan
It's some old Reagan. I forgot about Reagan. And oh my gosh, how?
and Jimmy Carter, too. Don't forget
How?
about that one.
I mean, Jimmy was cool though. Jimmy was cool.
Jimmy was cool. Jimmy was cool.
Yeah. But
But you voted for Reagan, like you like you said, and you voted for both of them Bushes. And didn't both of those Bushes have 2 terms?
mm,
Oh, oh,
so all I'm saying is
oh.
if you can vote for these other people because they're not black, you can vote for Kamala because she's not black. I'm not telling you to vote for Kamala. I don't even know if I vote for Kamala. But I'm just saying the reasoning that you guys are giving the scapegoat to find a reason not to vote for her doesn't make any sense.
There it is.
Build that on policy.
There it
Policy
is.
first. Not
Policy
what they
first.
do, not everything around. Yes, Barack
What
was cool
works?
because he played basketball. But y'all was riding for him to play basketball. You didn't know Barack
Mhm.
Obama before then, but you seen him on the
Mhm.
basketball court, and you didn't ask, did he play basketball before then? You didn't. Nope. I ain't never heard nobody say that. You didn't care. You didn't care.
You
You
didn't
didn't care that
care.
he was giving eating ribs and stuff. You didn't care how he was dapping people up. You
Nope.
didn't care. You didn't ask, was he dapping people up in college? You didn't care what college he went to.
Yeah.
So
I
why is
learned
it
more
you?
about Kamala's personal life these past few months than I like than I would like for my own personal being,
It's
because
wild.
and then the whole, oh, she's a vice president, what she ever done? I think I saw you comment on somebody's stuff and was like, can y'all tell me anything that any other vice president has ever done?
They
Ever?
can't. All
They
the
can't
vice
even
presidents have been
name the vice
terrible.
presidents.
They can't. Al Gore was cool. All right.
Al Gore
He
was
actually
cool.
did some stuff. All right.
Al Gore
Then
was
you
cool.
had Cheney. The Cheney, if we're being real, Cheney was probably the most active vice president of all time, to the point that he was overstepping. Now, don't get me wrong. Bush wasn't the brightest of people. Okay. So Cheney was able to take advantage of that. You didn't know that. You didn't care about that. But what you did know about Cheney was he shot his homeboy in the face that one time.
That you did know that.
Um,
Some people don't even
what
know
did
that that was Dick Cheney. Some of them
what
didn't
did
even
Pence
realize that was
do?
the vice president. What
Right?
did Joe Biden do during Barack's terms?
Not much. But the whole purpose of Barack choosing Biden at the time was because Biden had better foreign policy, which was the one thing that Barack was lacking. He
Mm-hmm.
was great domestically, but he wasn't good
Foreign.
overseas.
Mm-hmm. He
So
wasn't
you
good.
needed somebody who had that experience. Joe Biden had that
Mm-hmm.
experience. That was the extent of his presidency. Did he actually do anything over there? I do not
My
know.
whole
I didn't care.
my whole thing is I feel like Joe Biden became president is because of his connection to Barack Obama. When he was running for presidency, nobody ever said anything about, oh, well, what did he do as a vice president?
No one.
No one said that. What was he doing? What did he do for the black people is as a vice president? No one said that. Oh,
He
we didn't
didn't do
never see
anything for
Joe.
black people as a senator or whatever he was.
My point exactly, BK. No one ever said, "Oh, we don't see Vice President Joe Biden enough." Oh, we didn't see him this entire time. Then y'all weren't looking, because we have seen Kamala a lot. Y'all just
Yeah.
weren't looking. Y'all weren't checking for her. But now that Joe Biden's stepping aside and she is the vice president, current vice president, might I add, very first woman vice president, might I add, now it's a problem because he done
I
stepped
don't
aside.
last thing, and we gotta end the show. Just on being the vice president alone, she deserves a chance to run for president.
There it is.
So did Pence, but you guys tried to take him up out of here. So I kind of, and it didn't work out when he came back to try to run either. So, but as you can see, he's working out for this vice president. Pence was just the second vice that I know that didn't for president, because Gore ran, um, Cheney didn't, Pence didn't, Joe ran, and now Kamala. So let's just be honest, man. I don't think this is some big conspiracy that Joe Biden stepped down. He was gonna have to step down. Have you seen him talk? Did you
Yeah,
see
he's
the fact that President Obama had to guide him off stage? There's no way he could have
yeah,
led the country like that, y'all.
no, no.
It just wasn't.
And
It just wasn't
and
possible.
even though I don't agree to his policies, him and his political lifespan, but everybody need to understand this man has been literally a part of our government since like the 70s.
It's time for a new guard.
It's time to just let it go. That's 50 years ago. Almost 55 years ago, since 1970, the year. I can't pinpoint right now in my brain exactly which year he became part of our government.
Don't
But
have me. He had hair
but
then.
He definitely had hair and he looked like a completely different person. But and I've been around enough older people to understand when it's time for you to just sit down.
Yep.
It's time for him. It's time for him. And it's kind of a little sad too, because it's like, even like I said, even though I don't agree to what he's done for the government and everything that he has done as a president. I mean, like you said, there's a couple of things that we have gotten out of it. But it's still sad because we see it on a grand scale. And
Yeah.
there's so many people judging him, so many people talking about him. The only reason I feel like the only reason why Trump is just a little bit sharper is because he's a few years younger, just a few years, by the way, just a few years
Yeah.
younger. And he has always been in the public eye since he's been famous. Joe Biden, not so much.
He
He's
been
been kind of
behind
in
it.
the back. He's been in the
Yeah.
background. He didn't become in the public eye until Obama. That could
I
stress
will
you
say
out.
this.
Everybody always talks about, did y'all see how Barack Obama looked from when he became president to the end of his second term? Do you see how much he aged? You don't think that's going to happen to each president?
Facts. And Trump only got like, by the time Trump in his, if he becomes president this time around, by the time he in the term, he gonna be older than Biden.
My
And we
question is
already see
why?
moments where he can't remember things the right
We
way
already
now.
seeing it. That man was falling asleep at the RNC.
In his defense, Dad, some of that stuff was a little boring. Some of that
It's
stuff was a
always
little boring.
okay, but you supposed to you supposed to be awake.
Did you see when old buddy was singing that song? He was supposed to be introducing Trump, but Trump was sitting there like, all right now, let me
my
out.
man's hit my man's hit this. You know how you catch the elders at the church and they hit but they raise their eyebrows. Do you think they think they opening their eyes? The eyes ain't open, bruh. Your eyes ain't open.
I ain't gonna front. That was me a couple of Sundays ago. I was in
Oh,
that boy.
see?
That was like, close. Let's do some prayer. I was like, oh no.
Ooh, that's a little dangerous.
Am I gonna make? I hit that. Amen. They said amen. Oh, I'm up.
Oh,
I'm
they
up.
said amen.
I'm up. I'm
Amen
good.
again. It happens.
If y'all listen to this from the church, man, don't be looking at me on Sunday. I ain't
Please
sleep.
don't.
I'm just resting my eyes.
I'm just resting
Um,
my eyes. I'm just
all
resting
right,
my
people.
eyes.
So last thing I'm gonna say, what I was gonna say earlier, Black people are not a monolith. We don't
Mhm.
know who y'all gonna vote for together, but just make sure that you're doing the research for yourself, not listening to online talking points. Don't be out here listening to Judge Joe Brown, man. How he know all this stuff? I'm sorry. This is my last point. How? How? I said
You
this
know
on
better say
TikTok
than
because
that.
I was listening to him talking. He was like, Kamala ain't black. Her daddy, he Jamaican. She ain't black. That ain't what he said, but that's how it sounded to me. But then, Judge Joe Brown and Jaguar Wright know so much stuff, but they ain't in these rooms no more. How they find out? How they
There
know?
it is.
How they be knowing
Jaguar
all this stuff?
Jaguar, right? She's starting to give a little bit of mental illness, a little bit to me.
I don't know. I,
I
I'm
ain't
not
no
understanding
professional.
how they know this stuff.
I ain't no professional, but or they might just got wild minds like me. They be seeing stuff and just be trying to put things together. So maybe
You
it's
know,
like that.
if that's the case, I'm cool. I understand you coming up with a theory. You know what I'm saying? But
But don't
I'll be
pass it
like,
off as its truth.
yeah. I was like, y'all don't know who was in that room. You wasn't. Like, I need
Mm.
some tangible stuff. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to him. I see what you're doing for your brands, and it's great. I just need to see some tangibles. Show me you know what? No, we're not doing this whole birth certificate thing again. We did that in '08. It was tiring then. It's tiring now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If Kamala gonna win, she gotta win on policy, not who she slept with in the past and who she gonna sleep with in the future. None of that matters. It doesn't matter.
It matters.
It didn't matter when Trump was out here sleeping with supposedly sleeping with everybody.
The
allegedly,
man has 34 counts right now.
and
They
none of that
still,
matter.
none of it matters. That
What's
man
his policy?
what's his policies? I can name, I'm not gonna name them, but I know a few and I do not agree with it.
And that's the bottom line for me. We might have to cut this into 2 videos, and I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with that. We might have to double drop, separate drops, whatever. I'm fine with that. I
I
just
just
need us to
don't
do better.
I just don't Donald Trump just being what he been doing and saying what he been saying. I just can't believe as a country we've let this man get so far.
Welcome to America, baby. New age. Black people, remember that we are not a monolith. We read books. We go to coffee shops now.
We
We're
go
we're
hiking
doctors and lawyers and
with
stuff.
doctors and lawyers,
We be skateboarding. We
skateboarding,
we ice skate.
mountain climbing. We definitely ice skate. We dominate gymnastics. Like
We're we're more than the stereotypes that you keep accepting them giving us. Stop it. Be
some of
bigger.
us don't want to wear our own hair. Oh my God.
That's a whole nother
I'm
video. All right,
about to
all
make the
right,
people mad.
all right. Good people out here in the interwebs. If you're listening to this, thank you for listening to us
Thank
today.
you.
Supernova Kane, Instructor Supernova Kane. Let them know what they got to do for us today.
Head over to YouTube, like, share, subscribe. Turn that
Subscribe.
notification bell so you can never miss out on an episode of Society and Pop Culture 101. After you do
Facts.
that, head over to Spotify, head over to Apple Podcasts, give us a like, give us a follow on those platforms, and leave us a 5-star written review.
If you're on YouTube and you're listening to this, again, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We got to reiterate that because we
Mhm.
need you to help us grow. All
Yes,
right.
please.
Um, recently here, our videos have been exclusively on Spotify for full episodes, just full episodes in video form has
Mhm.
basically just been on Spotify. But I think we may start expanding that a little bit pretty soon here. I don't know. Y'all let us know what what you guys think. Maybe we bring them to Facebook or YouTube in the future. I haven't talked
That's me.
to my podcast partner about that. If you see her face right now, she's like, "Well, you didn't say that to me," because it's true. I didn't. It was just on my mind, and I
I thought it
wanted to
was
get
on
it off
Apple.
my
I thought
chest.
the 4 episodes was on Apple Podcasts. I don't have Apple, so.
I don't think they have video podcasts on Apple. On
Oh,
Apple.
video. You talking about video? Yes, I do know
Yeah,
that. I do know that. I
yeah.
did know
We
that.
just the full
Yes,
video is just on Spotify right now, but we're
yes.
gonna expand that. So
I
be
did
on the
know.
lookout for
I
that
did
in the
know.
future.
I knew. I didn't not know.
Oh, she knew. But anyway, shout out to the Culture Clash Network. We see y'all out here. We see us out here because we're a part of that network as well. We love you guys. I have been Instructor BK Spades.
I am Instructor Supernova King.
We're about this thing. Don't forget to check your notes.